Hi everyone, this is Cheryl and this is Manny holding this cute little Easter basket. This is a really fun project and a little girl would just love this because when Easter is over and they've eaten all that candy, it works as a little tote bag. So let's get started. The finished size of this basket is 8" by 7" by 4". This is not including the height of the handle. The fabric that you need for the outside and the lining is 1/3 yard of each. Heavy iron on interfacing, if you're getting the 20" wide off the bolt, you'll need about 3/4 of a yard. And then for the ribbon, you'll need 3/8 inch wide ribbon by 45 inches long. Let me move this up a little bit. And then you'll need large eyelets. You'll need 2 of them. You'll also need a thick piece of cardboard, 4" by 8", and I just ripped apart an old box I had in the garage. Cut your fabrics in the following sizes: 2 9½ by 12½, 1 4½ by 18½, and that's for the outside of the bag. The lining, 2 10½ by 12½. Your interfacing, 2 9½ by 12½, 1 4½ by 18½, and 2 10½ by 12½. Fuse the interfacing on all of your fabrics. Follow the package instructions that came with your interfacing. Make sure you also do it on the handle, so you do it on the fabric for the outside as well as the lining. To stitch the fabric for the outside of the bag, you're going to bring them front sides together and pin. You're going to stitch on both 9½ edges and one 12½ edge. So you're going to do 1/4" seams, so stitch down, across, and back up. To stitch the lining together, you're going to be stitching on both 10½ sides and then one 12½ side. On either one of the 10½ sides, you're going to leave an opening large enough for your hand to go through so that you can turn the bag out later. So you're going to stitch 1/4" seams, so you'll stitch here, down here, across, and back up. Right now I have my lining fabric here. I'm going to show you how to do your corners for the bottom of the bag. Just take the sides and push it down like that. And then this is the bottom down here. So once you've pushed it down, you want to put your ruler. Here's my 0 line there, and you want the 4" line here and the 2" line at the bottom, and it should just fit. Then take a pencil and draw a line across there. And then you're going to stitch right on that line all the way across. Then after you've stitched, I've already got this one stitched here, you're going to go ahead and trim some of this excess off. You're doing this for both the lining as well as the fabric for the outside of the bag. This is the fabric for the outside of the bag. So on the inside here, on where the interfacing is, up close to the edge, you're going to mark a center point, which should be about your 6" line if you did everything correctly. Then take a ruler, or if you have these little sewing gauge, and go in 3/4 inch and then mark a line there. And then on each side of the line, take your grommet that is the deepest one. When you get your grommet kit, there's an obvious difference between the piece that goes on the front and the back. So the one that goes on the front, you're going to put it on each side of your mark because you want to make them about 1/2 inch apart. And take a pencil and trace a little circle on the inside. And then with a small pair of scissors, go ahead and cut this little hole out. Your eyelet pieces, there's a real deep piece and a shallow piece, and you'll be able to tell very obviously which one is the front and which one is the back of the eyelet. So from the front side of the fabric, insert the deeper part of the eyelet through the hole. Place it down in this little, this is called the anvil. Place it down on top center of that. Then take the shallow part of the eyelet, place it over the top. And then take your setter, here it is, here's my setter. Take your setter, place it on top, and if I can do this, anybody can do this. And then hit it, and then it's all set. Now insert the eyelet the same way on the other hole. Take the fabric for the outside and insert it inside of the lining and line up all of your edges. Bring the top edges together and place straight pins to hold it all the way around. And when stitching, I will have one seam going in one direction and then the seam on the inside going in the opposite direction. Reach inside the opening of the lining and begin pulling the bag front side out. Through the opening of the lining, go ahead and insert the cardboard through it and then push it into the bottom portion of the outside fabric. The opening, you want to fold those edges in 1/4 inch on both sides and place pins to hold it closed. So place pins all the way across and then stitch really close to the edge all the way across. And then after doing that, push the lining into the inside of the bag. After turning it right side out, your upper edge should look like this. Then you want to press that upper edge all around. To create the casing to hold the ribbon, you're going to do a line of stitching on each side of the eyelets going around the entire bag. And so that you can get fairly close to the eyelets, use your zipper foot when doing this. This is the handle. Fold each side of the handle over about 3/8 of an inch and make sure you press with your iron as you go. Then fold it in half and press again. Then you're going to stitch really close to this edge all the way down the full length. At each end of the strap, either do a zigzag stitch or run it through a serger machine. Insert each end of the strap on where the side seam is and center it over that side seam. Place the lower edge of the strap past the bottom stitch line for the casing. Then you're going to turn it over and stitch the strap down on each casing line here and here. Put a very small safety pin at the end of your ribbon. Then insert it into one of the eyelets and begin pushing it through, and you'll just be gathering up the upper edge of the bag. Now pull the ribbon to where both ends are equal with each other, and then push against the bag and lightly gather up evenly around the entire top of the bag. After gathering the top edge just a little bit, then go ahead and tie the ribbon into a bow. Now all you have to do is fill this bag with all kinds of goodies. This is going to make some special little girl very happy. Now, if you want to do other fun projects that the Sewing Room channel has, go to the green screen at the end of this video and click on those links. If you liked this video, click on thumbs up and click on share to share this video with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click on that red button down there in the lower right-hand portion of your screen. Enter your email address and click on the little bell so that you receive future email notifications about my latest video. I'm Cheryl, and I'm so glad you came to my sewing room. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing!